채널 젊은 달. 안녕하세요, 젊은 달입니다. 오늘은 영화 더 위치를 각본 연출하신 로버트 에걸스의 인터뷰를 통해 영화의 기획과 제작에 대한 비하인드를 알아보는 시간을 준비해 봤습니다. 영화 탐구 시리즈 제2편 더 위치, 지금 바로 보시죠.
Ghost stories, fairy tales, folk tales, mythology, religion, sometimes the occult. That's what really gets me excited. I would rather write a novel or paint a painting that has to do with that stuff than to just make a movie.
미국의 뉴햄샤이어 출신의 로버트 에걸스 감독님은 데뷔작인 2015년작 더 위치로 썬댄스에서 감독상을 수상, 또 하나로 약 40억 원의 제작비로 450억 원을 벌어들이며 비평가와 흥행, 두 마리의 토끼를 모두 잡았는데요. 이후 차기작으로 로버트 패리슨과 윌리엄 데포 주연의 2019년작 라이트하우스를 찍으면서 거장 못지않은 관록을 다시 한번 입증하며 아리 에스터와 조던 필과 함께 떠오르는 호러 신인 감독으로 자리매김을 합니다.
I made a short film called Brothers that was a proof of concept to try to get The Witch financed. It had been many years since I'd made a short film, and my most recent work was a very stylized piece based on Edgar Allan Poe, which featured a puppet as a lead character and performances that were truly weird. My producer said, you know, if you want anyone to finance The Witch, you probably ought to make a new short.
So we suggest that you make a movie that has scary woods, that has kids as leads, and that has naturalistic performances.
How do you think this got out here? Hey, Jake, how do you think this got out here?
I don't know.
Hey, it's my turn. What the hell, Jake? It's not funny.
Jesus Christ. He's such a fucking crybaby. Get back up there.
No.
Put it up there.
No.
Put it up there. Put it back up there.
For me, both my two feature films have very simple stories. The Witches has a very clear, simple story. The Lighthouse is almost void of story. So in my films, like, you need atmosphere for the world to survive, for the film to survive.
It took 4 years to write and research and also to get financed. People didn't really want to make a film in early modern English with bringing in UK actors and all this kind of stuff. There was a lot of things that I was trying to do in order to make this authentic and to make it transportive and to really, you know, in my opinion, you can't believe in The Witch if you can't get into the mindset of these early English Calvinists.
I like it when I don't understand these people. I like it when I'm researching Puritans and I think, how could this kind of English Calvinism be hopeful for anyone? And then be reading and reading and reading, struggling, like these are alien thoughts, these are alien people. You know, you read secondary sources, you read primary sources, you read children's books on it to get like another base overview after you've already gone deep. You watch crappy YouTube videos, you go into museums, you consult with historians, you do whatever needs to be done to find out as much as you possibly can. And things like that, all of a sudden you see, okay, they're human like me. And finally you can unlock this door where you realize, like, oh my goodness, like, if I was alive then, I would have thought exactly like them. Of course I would have. And not only that, like, I can see how that kind of thinking still resonates in culture today.
but I also like the act of research. Like I enjoy learning about this stuff. If I made a contemporary film, I think I would be very bored. Guillermo del Toro, if he does a period film, he creates his own world beautifully. I would find that crippling, the pressure to invent that stuff. And I find it's very satisfying for me and my collaborators to know what the bar is, and that is accurate.
To put to life, we had to build the farmstead, and everything you see on screen made from the correct materials that would have been used in the time.
Thomasin, what's that doing with the silver cup?
It's not on the shelf.
No.
And the sixth pod then?
Don't know neither. It's been disappeared for some while. Just lose it.
I've not touched it.
Where has it gone then?
I haven't touched it.
I've caught thee trifling with it before.
She says you don't touch it, Catherine.
How thou could lose me father's silver wine cup in this hovel, I cannot know.
I haven't touched
Peace, child. He's gone.
I like to stay in the past. And what's very important to me when I begin writing a piece is to not have a message, to not have any intention beyond staying true to the world in which I'm trying to write in.
I think with The Witch, the one rule was that every scene that was written needed to end with "uh-oh," and if every scene has a bigger "uh-oh," then you're on the right track.
For me, horror is about, actually confronting what is dark in human nature, and really digging into it and not shining a quick flashlight on it and running away giggling. I kind of realized what this was or needed to be was like a Puritan's dream, a Puritan's nightmare. If I could upload a Puritan's nightmare directly into the audience's mind's eye, that would be the goal.
Boo! There you are. There you are. Boo! Sam? Samuel!
My producers and financiers wanted me to start earlier, with them leaving the village or the plantation that they came from, which I thought was ridiculous, and I didn't want to be doing like Little House on the Prairie. So I wrote a scene that I thought would be too expensive that we couldn't shoot, and then everyone loved it, and then we had to find a way to fit it into the budget, and I kept trying to cut it out of the movie, but actually they were right. We did need it. So sometimes studio notes are good. I used to be very defensive when I was younger, and now I'm not. But then I get my notes, I go home, and I say, they're trying to ruin my movie, and I sleep on it, and then I realize, actually, these are smart. But a lot of times, the thought behind the note is right, but the note itself is not good. I think, if you have multiple people saying something that is wrong with a scene, maybe they have different ideas about how to fix it. So there's probably something wrong about that scene, even if their solutions are poor. Again, because this took so long, I had a lot of time to really plan this thing out, and it was rigorously blueprinted, and it was nearly cut in camera. I don't really believe in traditional coverage.
여기서 잠깐.
It was nearly cut in camera. I don't really believe in traditional coverage.
이 부분을 빠르게 설명하고 넘어가 보겠습니다. 먼저
I don't really believe in traditional coverage.
감독님이 말하는 전형적인 커버리지란 일종의 촬영 방식인데요. 여기 씬 하나의 대사가 A부터 D까지 있습니다. 전통적인 커버리지로 촬영을 했을 때는 마스터숏, 즉 장면에서 일어나는 것들이 모두 보이는 숏으로 대사 A부터 D까지 찍습니다. 이후에 다른 사이즈의 숏들도 마찬가지로 장면 전체를 반복해서 찍는데요. 이렇게 장면에 누락된 곳 없이 여러 앵글의 숏이 존재하기 때문에 후반 단계에서 편집자 입맛대로 장면을 요리하기가 가능해집니다. 단점은 물론 모든 걸 여러 앵글에서 여러 번 반복하며 찍기 때문에 시간이 많이 들고 시간이 많이 들면 돈도 많이 들겠죠. 그렇기 때문에 감독님은
It was nearly cut in camera.
라고 하셨는데요. 이 말은 즉슨 장면의 편집점들이 이미 설계가 되어 있어서 매 샷마다 필요한 부분, 필요한 대사만을 촬영한다라는 뜻입니다. 물론 이 같은 촬영 방식은 시간 절약에 탁월합니다만 여유분을 촬영하지 않기 때문에 이후 편집이 다소 제한적일 수 있고 또 추후에 편집이 비거나 숏이 모자라더라도 어떻게 할 수 없다는 것입니다. 때문에 사전 준비에 세밀하고 철저한 준비를 요하고 이는 고스란히 촬영 현장에서 엄청난 불안과 압박으로 변해 감독님들을 괴롭히는 요소가 됩니다.
How about for you? When you get anxious, what do? How do you calm yourself?
단 거를 먹어요.
I eat sugar.
It's, getting to a quiet place and sometimes even meditating. First, expressing my anxiety to whoever will listen.
Just get started. You show up on the day and you're like nervous and you're like a little irritable and been thinking about it all the night before and everything. Just get it going. Get your shot list going. Get shot 1, get shot 2, get shot 3, and now you're in it. And now you don't have time to have anxiety about it anymore.
When I get too stressed out, and I really hate this about me, but I fall asleep a lot. I can't stay awake, and so I'm barely awake right now. It's so intimidating being in this room. From all of my films and TV, like anything I've done, I will sneak off into a corner and people find me curled up in a ball, asleep like a cat who's trying to die.
I have two ways of switching off. One, well, actually three. Chocolate, like Bong, quiet, like Marty, and watching sport. And I find that if I sit in the silence or watch sport for long enough in the evening, if there's a little man who pops up onto my shoulder going, "You fucked the scene today, it's not right," he will appear. At some point in the evening, he will pop up and he will interrupt my sleep. And by the next day, I will know that I have to do something about it.
이게 저기 뭐 많이 있어요. 그래서 그 모니터 주변에 사탕, 뭐 초콜릿 뭐 이런 것들이 많이 있어요.
So I always have a bunch of chocolate and candy around the monitor at all times.
Good. That's good.
1월 달에 만났는데 배가 이만큼 나와서 해서 그 배를 어떻게 할 거예요? 그랬더니 많이 먹어서 그렇더라고요. 그렇다 해서 저 사람이 되게 힘들게 찍었구나 그걸 알았어요. 몸이 어떻게든 상관 안 하는 거야. 네.
That's good.
It works.
그리고 이제 결국 또 저의 스토리보드 다시 돼요. 스토리보드 그리는 거 자체 불안해서 그리는 것 같아요. 스토리보드 없이도 영화 잘 찍는 감독님들 엄청 많잖아. 근데 저는 모든 샷을 제가 다 그리거든요. 그걸 하나하나 그릴 때마다 약간씩 불안이 가라앉기 때문에 그래서 불안하면 꺼내갖고 다시 이렇게 보고 있는 거죠.
So basically, I take out my anxiety from my heart and study it.
이대로 될 것이다.
하지만 로버트 에글스 감독님은 이러한 설계를 혼자서 하지는 않는다고 하는데요.
You know, it's a collaboration between me and my cinematographer Jaron Blaschke. I'm not like Ari Aster or Martin Scorsese. You know, we find this together, but we are creating a very specific language. We don't shoot any coverage. We come in very well planned because we're trying to have a level of craft that we can't have at our age and experience level.
Let me be. The moon is bright, the rain bothers me not. We're back in a 2 day if any man will return with me.
Father, did you fucking no?
Tell us why you went to the wood.
I promise.
I cannot.
Let me find favour in your eyes.
Child, tell me and I will.
I am.
The first draft of The Witch that was presentable, there was no central protagonist. We followed each of the family members carefully for a period of time, and then the film ended with Thomason. And my producing partners were kind of like, look, it's cool, we think it's cool, but it probably cannot be financed. It might be the best version of this movie, what you're doing, but we think it may never get financed if you do it like this. If you have a central protagonist, I think we can finance this movie. And I was very upset about it again, like at that time, like incredibly defensive. but I thought, okay, I can make it about Thomasin and I can deal with that. You know, one of the things I don't love about The Witch, though, you can feel that the original version wasn't only her, you know, and there's good things about that as far as like the world building is concerned, but there's bad things about that as far as like having the best narrative you could have.
What dost thou want?
The industry is so fickle that when I won the Director's Award at Sundance, within 10 minutes, someone was calling my agent about a franchise movie. And that really made me paranoid about how messed up the industry is, because they hadn't seen my film. They didn't know anything about me. It was just that I got this thing. So I'm very cautious and like wary of that kind of thing. I think it's a really smart choice for Rob to be doing Batman. That's not something that I see myself doing. On the other hand, I eat mostly vegetarian and I enjoy drinking white wine. If you told me that 2 years ago, I'd tell you you're out of your mind. So who knows? Maybe like you know, I need to pay for my son to go to school and I'll, you know, do a Marvel movie. I don't know if they'll want me at that point.
안녕하세요, 젊은 달입니다. 여러분, 여름이 왔습니다. 호러 영화 시리즈를 작업하는 요즘이지만 사실 그 어떤 영화보다도 이 더위가 호러입니다. 가끔 제가 영상을 편집하고 있는지 영상이 저를 편집하고 있는지 모를 때가 있는데요. 7월에 영화관은 여러 이유로 인파가 몰리는 곳이 되지 않을까 생각됩니다. 여러분 모두 건강 유의하시고요. 아무쪼록 아무 탈 없이 보낼 수 있으면 좋겠습니다. 어머니께 이번에도 호러라고 하니까 호러는 싫으시다고, 행복한 거 작업했으면 좋겠다고 하시더군요. 어머니 죄송합니다. 아직 호러 한 편이 남아있으니까요. 그게 끝나면 행복한 거 한번 생각해볼게요. 감사합니다.